Should you pay off your house? Man, this is a question that people are asking themselves all the time. And I'm going to tell you right now that if you do everything in your power to get your house paid off, it might be the worst financial decision you ever make. So check it out. I mean, hey, getting out of debt is a good thing, right? If you want to get out of debt, why would Kris Krohn argue with you that you shouldn't get out of debt? That's actually not what I'm saying. I actually want you to get your house paid off. But I want you to understand that there is a proper order to things. You see, you look at history and you take a look at the Great Depression, and what you have is individuals that have been trained. And by the way, you are a byproduct of the Great Depression because, a couple of generations ago, you had family that actually went through that. And here's what they learned: squirrel away your nuts, hide money under the mattress, do things different, get out of debt. Debt is evil, debt is bad. The problem is that if you live your entire life according to get out of debt, there is an energy of fear and scarcity. And it means that you're not going to invest and grow. You're actually just going to try to stay out of debt. Now, is it a good idea to get out of debt? Heck yeah, it's a good idea to get out of debt. But you need to understand something. You can't, at the point of retirement, if you got no debt, that doesn't mean you can retire. You can't retire on no debt because let's say everything's paid off. Does that mean that you can eat food? No, you need money to buy food. And no debt can't buy you money. No debt can't send you on trips. No debt can't buy you a nice car. So no debt, you need to understand, is a level of financial freedom, but it should not be the goal. You need to elevate yourself beyond that. Let's do a quick little test here. I'm going to give you two choices. Let's just say for a moment that you had $500,000 of debt. It could be house, car, student loans. That is a lot of money. That is $500,000. And there's a lot of people that are going to struggle inside and say, oh my gosh, Kris, I can't live with that debt. I need to aim my entire life on getting out of debt. But I want to give you an alternative. I'm going to give you a second choice. What if you could either have your $500,000 of debt paid off right now, or you had a $100,000 residual income each year? Which would you take? It's like, do I want to make $100,000 a year, or do I want all of my debt eliminated? Now you might be thinking, Kris, in one fell swoop, snap of the fingers, my debt is gone. I should do that. There's a problem. You're going to start all over, and then guess what you got to do? You got to go produce income again. However, you take this $100,000 of income, this residual income, guess what that's enough to do? It's enough to service the debt and have a whole lot left over. For many of you, it's enough left over that you actually don't have to have a job. Servicing this debt might cost you, let's call it $4,000 a month, but this is $8,000 a month of residual income. So it's like, well, I can service all my debt. I got $4,000 left over. What can I do with that? Well, maybe that's supplementing a job. Maybe I don't need a job. Maybe I can go do something different, make even more money. So what I want to do in this video is I actually want to share with you how you get your house paid off, but how you can do it 3 times faster than the 30-year plan. Now, I say 30-year plan, and you're thinking, what's Kris talking about? There's a 30-year plan? Yeah, it's called a 30-year mortgage. This is what people do. You get yourself a 30-year mortgage, and let's say that it is to pay off a $250,000 entry-level modest home. And so on this side, in 30 years, your house is going to be paid off. First of all, question for you. Do you really think you're going to live there for 30 years? An entry-level, modest home like that? You can think you will all you want, but most of us, we're changing jobs every few years. We're changing careers. We're changing houses. Technology is speeding up the world in incredible ways. The likelihood of you living in this house for 30 years is not very likely. But you need to understand that for the first 15 years of the 30, you're going to be paying mostly interest on the home. You're actually not going to hardly pay the house down. That's a problem. You're actually going to pay for this house 2.5 times based on the interest over a 30-year period of time. So it will be paid off in 30 years, but I want to ask you, I don't care what age you are, do you really want a 30-year plan to get out of debt? Problem is you're not going to leave enough money to what? Invest and grow and have money for what you need to produce a residual income. We need an alternative plan. I'm going to give you a second option. On a fairly consistent basis, I meet individuals that have a home, They've had it for enough years that they have now built up a little bit of equity in the home, and they're still on the 30-year plan, and they got maybe 20 more years left, or maybe 30 more years. And this is what I share with them. Let's say this person actually owes on their $250,000 home. Let's say they actually owe $150,000. It's not that they paid it off, it's that the house also went up in value. And so now there's $100,000 of equity. I can show you how to go to the bank and pull out $50,000 of cash. Now, if you take out this $50,000, your mortgage is going to go from $150,000 up to $200,000. So it's like, Kris, you're getting me in more debt? Here, I have a 30-year plan to get out of debt, and here you want me to take on more debt? Yeah, because this is going to be a business debt. This is going to be taking money to make money. In my most conservative real estate system that I do with people, basically I take $50,000, I deposit that into a home that is going to be making you another $50,000. In 5 years, the goal is minimally to double your money. So in 5 years, if you go from $50,000 plus $50,000, that's $100,000. Would you say that was a good move? Yeah, way faster than what's happening over here. Let's say that you add in 5 more years for a total of 10, right? We got 10 years happening on this side. And what's happening is we're doubling that $100,000 again. Now we're doubling it to $200,000. Guess what you now have after 10 years? You have enough money to pay off that $200,000 house. And in 10 years, not 30, you got your house paid off. You paid off your house 2-3 times faster on my conservative game plan. But you know what? Amp it up one more level. What if you then said, but Kris, I got 200 grand. Do I really want to pay off my house and then be even? I mean, we totally shaved off 15, 20 years here, but what if I took the 200 and doubled it again in 5 years to 400 grand? And what if 5 years later I doubled it again to $800,000? What if by the time this 30 years rolled around, instead of having a paid off house, what if I had $1.5 million? Do you see the smile? Friends, that's what I did when I got in the game of real estate, is I just got good at learning how to double money and how to make money. And so if you really want to get out of debt, what I'm saying is investing the right way is a better way of attempting to do that. Now there's a risk to investing, because guess what? You could lose your money, you could make a bad investment. That's why you need a mentor. And that's why I always encourage people to find someone that can show you the ropes, tee up the deals, or make this thing happen for you. And in many cases, I am that mentor. If you didn't know that I actually did that, you could click the link in the description below and you could talk to my team about me mentoring you and actually helping you learn how to do this. Listen, whether you have a house, whether you're starting from scratch, whether you've built some assets, bottom line, I guess, that I'm sharing today is that this goes beyond a bigger philosophy of, should I pay off my house? The answer is yes, pay off your house. But here I'm talking about timing and what you do with your assets in the meantime. And I want you to understand, you have alternatives that are significantly better than borrowing money from a bank and over 30 years giving them their money back 2.5 times, so that 30 years from now, all you have is a debt-free home. That's better than where a lot of people might be, but you could be 10 times further along. Hey, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it was useful for you, and I hope it helped you understand some ideas here of how to get out of debt significantly faster than the 30-year plan. If you're interested in beating the financial system, because it is a game and money is a game, if you want to learn how to make money 10 times faster than what society is teaching you, click the link in the description below, and my team and I will share with you exactly how we're doing it. We'll show you how we're doing it through our lease option strategy and through a number of other ways. Most importantly, get on the phone with my team, and they'll actually put themselves in your financial shoes, break it down, and show you exactly what it would look like for you.